Okay, first up is Justin. Right, this is looking good. There's a lot of good poses and animation here, and nothing's like looking, you know, really jumping out as a problem. I would say that areas for improvement are the breathing looks too kind of exaggerated here, so I might maybe shorter breaths that are smaller rather than these kind of big sort of inflating and deflating things you've got. Or if you use the same pace, just scale it down. Um, I think, yeah, I think that pose is okay. I think maybe you might want to try using the scapulas to raise the shoulders when he does that a little bit more. If you're not already, let's take a look at the Maya file real quick. Okay, I'm in the Maya file. Yeah, we can. First, I'll just show you the. Is it this one that's doing all the scaling? Yeah, it looks like it. So I could go in the graph editor here and look at my scale keyframes, and yeah, I mean that's pretty big. So I would just say these need to be, decreased quite a lot. So I just kind of move those down. See, to me that looks better. There's the breathing is still there. It kind of keeps him living, but it's just not so exaggerated. Here I was suggesting you add in some clavicle movement. So do these? Oh, there is some change on those already. Yeah, that's good. But we could try pushing it a little bit further. It might be too exaggerated, but yeah, to me I like that a little bit better, a little bit more exaggerated. And the other thing is I might vary the pace of this a little bit, so if we got everything selected all there, like maybe go to this last keyframe and just shift clicking to select it and kind of speed up that last movement. So maybe he starts lifting his arm slowly, but then that kind of popped when I did that. I think if you're going to do that, you'll have to kind of overshoot and kind of come back a little bit. This is like a simple way of doing it, but just going back a few frames, and I'll middle mouse click here, say, and then set another keyframe and everything. Oh, that's too fast. I don't like the way that hand bounces back. Maybe I should do one that's more similar to that last frame, like here. Middle mouse click here. Set a keyframe and everything. I just don't like how much this one moves. I'm just gonna click on that, middle mouse click here. It's being a little funny. And then set a keyframe on that so that it doesn't move, but then I can just add in my own little kind of touch to keep him alive. So yeah, I guess the point is it's just to vary the pace a little bit. But this one's looking really good. You're doing a great job. Okay, next up is Bonnie. Alright, so this has made some progress. but those steps are a little crazy, and everything still, a lot of it still seems like it's in the stepped tangent type. Let's take a look at the Maya file. Okay, here we are on the Maya file. And a lot of little poppy kind of things going on. So first thing I'm going to just select all and select all the keyframes, and just by double clicking change them to auto, and let's see what that does, if anything. So let's just look at those pops first of all. So there's the pop in this hand right here, and it could just be that the animation's too quick on it. Are you using FK at this point? Okay. It looks like the elbow. That's weird. It's not the elbow. It's like, what is moving that hand? Did you translate this control? I think that's what's going on. Alright. These should only be used for rotation, not translation. You're going to mess stuff up if you... So I'm actually... I'm going to see what happens if we take out... I'm going to zero these out and delete the keyframes on the translates of this. And... still seemed like there was some little pop in here. That's just that rotation being too fast. So maybe I would take out one of these keyframes, and that smooths that out. As far as these steps, well, once again we have more than one foot moving at a time, so maybe here, I don't even think this one needs to be moving at that point for any reason. So I'd go here, middle mouse click here, S. Okay, that one's planted. And I guess it would be planted here. Click here, middle mouse click there, S. And then there's some little pop there. I don't know what's doing that. I'm just looking at the numbers to see if they change the channel box. They do. Well, maybe I'll take out this keyframe, and if that foot's going to move like between here and here, then I want this one to stick. So I'll middle mouse click there, S. Yeah, and then I would kind of oh, I see, he's supposed to be lifting his foot over the thing there. Is that what that is? It looks really just choppy and weird. I think because you might just try taking this, and I'm just gonna scale it out a little bit. There's something that makes it seem like it's still in stepped or something. Let me make sure that's in auto. It's sort of jumpy. I don't know. It would be good to see, how many keyframes. Let's see if I can get rid of them. First, I'm going to snap these. Right mouse click, snap, to make sure that a whole number of keyframes. So it starts here and kind of finishes there. Thing looks sort of jumpy about it or something. I'm just going to try to delete a few keyframes. That might smooth it out. Yeah, that's already a little better to me. I think the other thing is, especially if we look at this from like this view, while that foot's in the air, you should see its weight shift from one side to the other. Oh, you've got some, looks like a weighting issue with the character. So from here, yeah, you've got a little bit of that shifting over that foot. That's good, although it seems a little late. So because when he lifts this foot, he has to center his foot over the foot that's carrying the weight. Anyways, and then you have to get rid of the pops on the other feet. So keep going. Try to, delete all keyframes and put in those holds on the feet so they stick when the other foot's moving. Okay, this is Elena. Okay, it's looking pretty good. This thing seems to be floating above the ground. I don't know if that's intentional. The way the shadow looks, it seems to be doing that. And also, that texture seems to be swimming. I would try a different texture. I talked in the last video, I don't know if you're watching these videos, I hope you are, but in the last video I talked about fixing the camera. You might want to rewatch that to address that in this file. And yeah, you'd want to get these sidewalks touching the ground so there's not that big gap in the shadow and a different texture on those. And fix the camera so we have a second shot where we can really see this guy. And we don't. Right now the camera's kind of moving off to the side while you're trying to see what he's doing, which sort of makes it harder to see what he's doing. So I think you just have a few of those kind of fixes, and then you can kind of do another pass of the animation. I mean, the lighting looks okay, but I think your textures aren't great. Like these roofs aren't kind of looking, they're holding up, and the walls seem pretty blank, and this sidewalk thing is swimming, the textures are swimming. So overall I think you need some better and different textures on there to make it look really good, and fix the camera, and then we can really focus in on the animation once you get those fundamentals done. Okay, this is Alec. Okay, so I think this is coming across well. I think the walk seems a little stampy and abrupt. I don't know if that's the intention. I think that hand at the end on his hip, I think I showed this in the last video, might look better if it's, is that? Maybe it is IK. Just the way it moves so much with his body makes me think it's not. So you might try doing IK with that hand. The steps look a little choppy and abrupt. So maybe you want to slow that down a little bit, or maybe just use a part of it just to keep the video overall not too long. But yeah, I think you have a nice piece coming along. Okay, this is Jersey. Alright, you've got some good stuff going on here. It's fairly complicated. I would say you should get a little closer on him. You see, and it's a very, very, very wide shot, and it's a nice scene, but you establish it early, and then I don't know if there's a reason to go this wide. I would kind of cut into some, at least sort of a medium shot of the guy here. But yeah, there's some good stuff going on here. You've attempted some difficult things like the slip and fall. It's got a cartoony look to it, which is cool. I might play with the timing a little bit, maybe speed it up a touch. I think it looks like you started to do that thing I was showing with the hand on the wall, but I think you're not using the IK there, so it's not going to quite stick. But given all that, it looks really good. I think you've done a nice job. The lighting looks kind of moody. It's cool. Okay, this is Shauna. Okay, it's coming along. Let's take a look at the Maya file. Talk about locking those feet. Okay, here we are in Maya. Got the walk over here. So the feet might be slipping there, but we don't see them. But they are slipping quite a lot here. There are no keyframes on that main control, so that's good. So let's just kind of zoom in here and look at just one or two examples of the feet sliding around. So I'd start by making sure it's planted flat in the first place, because I guess it's supposed to be planted flat here. Okay, so I'd make sure some of these are at 0. Oh, that's weird. Oh, okay. Yeah, we just needed to hit that and translate y. Wouldn't that be 0? Or, oh, no. Okay, call it that. Alright, so I'm going to set a keyframe there, and then I'm going to middle mouse click on this one and set another keyframe and see how that foot stays put. And yeah, that lifts up too early, so I might middle mouse click here so it'll get stick until this next one's, you know. You could start to roll it up here, but I don't think you want to lift it up yet. So if you want, you can start rolling between here and here, so to have more control over that. So I might, you know, that's like this movement. So maybe it's rolled up a little bit here. And I've got auto keyframe turned on, and then a little, whoops. That's as far as it goes, so. But, and then here, maybe we'll lift it up a little bit. And, you know. Yeah, and then this one needs to be planted again, right? This guy. So let's say it's planted here. I'll middle mouse click S, middle mouse click S. And you really can't take that big of a step all at once. I mean, it just looks like a huge step. Still sliding a little bit, huh? Between there and there, just select here, middle mouse click here, and then S. What is it? Oh, maybe there wasn't one here. No? Why are those changing? Oh, I guess somehow I didn't set that second keyframe. Okay. Anyway. So, this foot is going to have to land, you know, not intersecting its neighbor. Like, maybe there, you know. mouse click to make it stick there. Anyway, and you just keep, I'm not going to do them all, but you get, hopefully you got the pattern. You're just going to go one by one. And what I was saying here is like, you're going to want to, you know, maybe some more poses, because it just kind of like floats down to that chair. And what I would do is, for example, you know, I would switch to IK arms at some point here. Maybe between here and here, or maybe here and here. So I'll select that control keyframe. Maybe by here, let's say 175, I'll switch to IK. And then I need to get that controller, which should be this one, right? His arm looks a little messed up for some reason. That's not good. But the idea, anyway, is that you'd have the hand sort of planted here. So the keyframe, make sure these fingers are a little more curled. Hey, oh, there we go. I don't know, something like that. And so the idea is it should transition from FK to IK, and then when he sits down he's got something kind of bracing himself there. Now maybe it could be that this thing is too far away. No, it's worse. Oh, it shouldn't be in front there, yeah. Yeah, this one just sort of points the elbow. But something's funny with the arm. Don't know what it is, but something's gone a bit wrong. I'm wondering if, like, that bend looks really weird too. One of the things is these things should not be moved. They should really only be rotated. So, and all of them are getting moved. So I'm going to see what happens if we take these three, zero out the translates, you know, and then delete selected on this. So delete any keyframes on that, and on that translate. It's still going a little berserk. I don't know, maybe you have an idea of what's going on and why it's doing that. That I'm not seeing. But anyways, it's good to have something for him to brace himself on when he sits down. So that's where the idea that hand's doing. If you have a clue of the problems, let me know. Otherwise, I can sit and diagnose them. It could be something with the rig. But yeah, keep going.